1099 AD, off of the estuary of Geelong in the ocean between Taiwan and China. He stands cursing as his hands slowly blister from holding a rope that is pulling up the seabed. The fisherman does this to see where they are. They've been out at sea for 2 days and have been blown off course by a strange and unheard of storm. His hands starting to blister, prematurely for this worker, but he has been working hard for the past 12 hours and they were all out of water. Dehydration has dried out his lips and littered them into tiny crystallized cuts, and his hands now burning. It was his first day out of the estuary and into the ocean. A boy turned to man, he was meant to be able to handle this. Coming to boil, the blister inflaming, he could feel that slow smudge pus dryly give way, the second of flesh flung out lasting only that silent moment hanging like waves. The blister popped, de-skinning a clean cut across one hand. He shouts and lets go of the rope and hook. It slowly drifts away with the rest of the hope of navigating where they are. Photo of a compass. Description of a hanging. Description of vertigo. Photo of a camera. My mother told me a story about where we came from long ago. Not a story of her immigration across those cold seas. She insisted it wasn't. Nothing to do with it, or those oceans blue with blood unoxygenated veins open ready for slitting in the new world. Everyone on that ocean liner, 1905. Glasgow to Boston. Innocent to what was to happen. Dull even. No, something much older than that. The horizon ate, she always said, and then she slowly closed her eyes. It was boring being on that ocean liner, Mum would say whilst showing us the image of her that was taken at the port of Boston, an immigration photo and stamp with date, place and proof of identity via a photo. But that's not the story, she would say quietly. But it always ended up the tale we were told, and it was always that picture. She gripped the photograph with sweaty, aching hands shaky like her singing voice, thinking of that oblivion called the North Atlantic Ocean, placing herself within that phantasm forever. Description of hypochondria. Photo of 2012 iPhone. British primary school description of a colonial slave ship. He sat at Heathrow Airport at 5 a.m. The English breakfast he had ordered sat, getting cold with baked beans setting to a red desert. The pilot often had this, but never wanted to eat it. He went to the toilet, with a 7-hour flight ahead through that empty vacuum sky he wanted to masturbate. He goes into the disabled toilet. On Heathrow's free 20 minutes of Wi-Fi, he types into Google, mud fetish porn covered, all lower caps, and scrolls through videos of bodies slowly being submerged into mud. Feeling that thick landscape eat them, small. He feels as if he knows where he is in that stale, international white nowhere of Heathrow at 5:12 a.m. 2012. He is standing facing the toilet. A terms and conditions for the Wi-Fi pops up and asks if you can give them your permission of location. Description of blindness. Photo. In 2036, water begins to dry up out in the desert. By 2074, there's no one left. Water gone and the populace too. The weather betrayed them, the horizon aching, dull, dust all over the skin I possess. At night I bend with the wind. The images dance with gangrene smoothness, a ballet of obscene adaptivity. The screen blew in the wind. The only images played on these abandoned screens at the end of the world were pornographic ones in which everyone featuring in the frames were dead. We were dead. These huge totemic screens made of wafer-thin material growing and shrinking as phantasms of corpses like oceanic coral in the night sky, like the slow-motion scene of bed sheets drying. It shone with pixelated blue and orange sharp against that endless blackness falling out at the back of nowhere. It felt beautiful to be with the horizon. Description of a corpse. Fibromyalgia, a long-term condition which causes pain and aching all over the body in all directions. 7 times more likely to be diagnosed in women than men. Causes include injury or infection, giving birth, having an operation, the breakdown of a relationship, and the death of a loved one. Most commonly found in people aged between 30 and 50. To ache. To ache. To ache.